Welcome to the Chamber Neighbors Podcast, a show highlighting Chapin's community and commerce. Now here's your hosts, Greater Chapin Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Paul Sadler, and Chapin Neighbors Magazine's Daniel Rendelman.
This is Daniel with the Chapin Neighbors Magazine.
And I'm Paul Sadler with the Greater Chapin Chamber of Commerce.
And are we going to be treated today, Paul?
I think so, Daniel.
Treated
I think
well?
Yes, let's say
we
that.
Hope so. Okay.
Let's hope so. Today we've got a treat. We have Chapin's, or the town of Chapin's, town administrator, Miss Nicholle Burroughs.
She is in the house. Hello, Nicholle.
Thank you guys for having me.
Welcome back.
In person.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome
So-
back. You are a repeat. I was going to say offender.
No.
Guest
Not
on the podcast.
You've had me back. I
Right.
appreciate it.
This is awesome.
Yes. We've only had like two, I think, repeat
That's right.
guests.
That's right.
And you might be either the third or the second. I can't remember. But we're so glad to have you here.
Well, it's always an honor to be with you guys.
And we've got a lot of stuff going on in Chapin, right? There's you guys are just busy, just popping out things left and right. There's new businesses coming to town, and man, we're excited for what's going on and what's to come.
Sure. Well, from an economic development standpoint, we've got several new entities that are coming into town, people who've purchased property and are going through the approval process. So Mavis Tire has gone through almost all the way through. They've gotten a conditional approval on a new building. Everyone can see the construction of Caliber Collision. So that's very exciting. And our market is really popular right now. So we've got several more in the pipeline, and we're looking forward to going through that process.
People just want to do business here. They want to open up shop here in Chapin.
Is it true we're getting an Amazon warehouse in the heart of the town?
And a Walmart and a Target.
Right, I think.
Yes.
This is where the rumors come from. This is what does it.
Okay, so no, we're not.
No.
Any of those are
No.
no Walmart or Amazon
No.
or Target.
No.
Yet the town is open for business, and
Indeed.
to see the growth and things happening is exciting.
Well,
And also the small town feel.
yes, the town prioritizes small town businesses. We like the mom and pop shops, but really ultimately we prioritize quality over quantity. So most of the public has no idea how many times we say no on a daily basis. And we really try to be very transparent with developers so they can read our code. We just came out with the Unified Development and Zoning Ordinance. So that's a brand new UDO. You may have heard us talking about that, but it controls commercial, residential, any type of development that happens within the town limits. That's the document that people use. And
So you can't just come in and build something that looks like, I don't know, that doesn't look anything like anything else in Chapin.
we have very strict architecture
Neon
guidelines.
lights over
Yes.
everything.
No neon lights?
No neon lights. No, it's not Vegas.
Okay.
Not yet.
We have an approved color palette and an approved tree species list. It's
Nice.
yes, it's
I
very
didn't know there's a tree
specific.
species.
Tree
Yes,
species.
it's
Wow.
very specific. And what's interesting is that for people who do development on a regular basis, they come in and they really enjoy working with the town because the town is very clear on what our standards are and what the regulations are. For people who may have never developed before, it can seem a little bit overwhelming, but that's why we're here. We're here to walk them through it, and we encourage
here
people
to
come.
help.
Yes. Come early, speak often. Our door is always open. There's always someone
I
available.
have to say that about the town of Chapin. When you go to the town hall and you need anything taken care of or done, the staff is the most friendly and helpful. Everyone from those, that take the payment at the window to folks greeting you to others. And I know Shannon Bowers was recently recognized as well with the staff, and you've got other staff members that they just go above and beyond. And you don't get that in the bigger cities.
Well, and rather than having to go all the way out to Lexington, to get your business done, it's so nice to have someplace here. And so, we want to be responsive to that for more and more people. The town limits have traditionally been very small, and I know there's people who have concerns about annexation and what that might mean for them. But like I said, we have it all laid out in a document. That's our guide. We have a comprehensive plan that we worked really hard on. And what all of this means for people who aren't familiar with the way government works, that's our guideline. So it's not hard to come talk to somebody if they come in and have questions or concerns. What does annexation mean for me? Or, how long will it be until you annex my property? We can sit down and look at a map, and I can talk to them about here's what the most likely scenario is going to be, and here's what the most likely zoning is going to be. And they can see it written in the document. It's not something I'm making up based on political whim and desire, right? And sometimes there's things that are a little overwhelming for people. So, in our center of town, we're really concerned about the traffic. This is not something that came from the town of Chapin. This is from surrounding the town of Chapin, and we are just forced to deal with it. So what that means is we won't allow drive-throughs in the center of town. There's a lot of people who say, I want my local Chick-fil-A to be right in the center of town, or I want, my local Starbucks or whatever. But that really hurts traffic patterns. And so we've really changed the last couple of years to identify areas where those businesses can go. And we are super excited to get them eventually, and they'll go in a certain location. But they won't be in the center of town because those drive-throughs really clog up traffic. And
just think of the traffic now, and just think if you throw a Chick-fil-A right there in the middle of it, like, my goodness, you look.
Put Chick-fil-A in charge of all traffic in the world, everything would be easy.
You know what? They
might
are
not
good.
be a bad idea.
They are good. They do know what they're doing for sure. There's definitely a manual to follow.
And they require a lot of space, though. I mean, you look at the one in Ballantyne, and that requires a big footprint. A large driveway, a large drive-through, and I don't really know if there's much.
Well, here's the thing. So if they're listening,
within
I
the
got
town.
a great spot right there by the interstate.
All
That
right.
would be perfect
Hey,
for them. So if
I
they're
know-
listening, come on to Chapin.
I may
We
know
got
a
you.
guy.
We got you. We got you. We're ready for you.
Well, you mentioned the size because the town is only about, is it 2.1?
Yeah, well, roughly
2.1-ish?
2.2 probably now.
2.2.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we recently grew a little bit, so we're
And
getting there.
I mean, I'm crossing my fingers that one day where I live is annexed because I've done the math. I've looked at the plans. I know that, I'm going to save money based off of the trash and the sewer and the water. When all of that is combined and taken care of by the town, it will be much less than what I'm paying right now as a homeowner. So I'm looking forward to that. Are there any plans for the annexation or kind of strategic growth as we're looking for things?
Absolutely, that is a high level priority for council, and it's really pulled from the fact that people in the area want to participate more in their local government. They want Chapin to be reflective of their needs and desires. And at the end of the day, it's really hard to do that if you can't run for office. It's really hard to do that if you can't vote in an election. It's really hard to do that if you don't have police protection or receive the services. We do a phenomenal job. Our police department is incredible. They're typically the first responder, even for areas outside of the town. That's almost unheard of. Municipalities typically don't do that in the same level or to the same level we do. But we believe in being there for our local area, and we do treat all of 29036 as if it's Chapin. But we're really excited about the possibility of getting more full-time citizens to run for office or serve on boards, to be able to participate at a different level. And it'll be exciting.
Let's just say, for instance, if Daniel did get annexed into the town of Chapin, his house, does he get police protection at that point?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
So
already
right
have
now,
police protection.
Yes, Thomas Griffin is your buddy, isn't it? Is that him sitting out in the parking lot waiting on you?
yes.
Breaker, 1, 2. Okay, never mind. So, sorry. But so does that come with annexation? Do you receive things?
The biggest difference that people don't quite understand is because they see our officers a lot of times being the first responder, they think that, oh, well, I already have police protection. But the reality is for anything outside of those 2.2 square miles, you don't. We have to be dispatched by Lexington County. And so if Lexington County says, well, we're en route, or if they say we're not coming, our officers can't go service those areas. They don't do the drive-by protections in the same manner. They're not as present because they have to literally be called by Lexington County. So it would be a huge preference to us, including our police chief Thomas Griffin, if we had more area so that our patrols would be more effective and so that we could ensure the safety of not just our residents but obviously a greater number of residents.
And as the town grows, also the opportunity to hire more support staff is there. In the future, what does Chapin look like in 6 months or a year or 5 years down?
So we are really focused on, like I said, we got through our two major planning initiatives, being the comprehensive plan and then the UDO, which guides our planning, zoning, and development, subdivision regulations, all of that. But then the next step is really being a force when it comes to developing areas of town that have traditionally been undeveloped. So right now we're working on the master plan and feasibility study for what we call the former school property. Several people I'm sure are aware of where that is, and it'll include hopefully plans for a performing arts center right now, and we've got plans for an amphitheater on the property, and that'll come and connect to what currently is the town hall property. So really a transformative downtown center gathering location where people can come and enjoy all different types, right? So the library can be right there. the central kind of area, the heart of Chapin that we have for so long missed because we have a railroad that runs right through
Yeah,
it.
it's tough to do that. Full disclosure, I sit on that committee, that steering committee. But man, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to be able to get that large of a piece of property, to develop it and to turn it into something that is unlike anything that we've already got in this community. It'll revolutionize Chapin.
Mhm.
Like, the center, we will have a true town center. We will have a true downtown Chapin. I can think of like going to Lexington or going to Greenville or, those types of places. I mean, obviously on a little bit of a smaller scale, but still like having that Main Street, that hallmark,
Well, and it's even smaller
It's-
towns. It's smaller
right.
communities. I think that's people hear these big, Greenville and Lexington. They're like, I don't want to be Greenville. I don't want to be
Right.
Lexington. And we respect and appreciate and we
Mm-hmm.
honor that. And in every step of this strategic planning effort, this master plan effort, that has been a continual conversation to go
absolutely.
right back to what is important to Chapin. What do we want to see? We had a better survey result throughout that process than what Lexington County had when they did their comprehensive planning process.
Wow.
It was just
Yeah.
that kind of an interest and focus on what
Right.
we were doing. And
People want this.
yeah, they want it, but they also want it at a scale that does become a main street. And like I said, you can even look at Prosperity. There's a
Mhm.
lot of
Oh,
really
yeah.
small
Yeah,
towns.
yeah.
Even a Whitmire has a small
It does.
downtown little area. And then we don't. And that lacks heart, right? Because the reality is, what is Chapin's greatest asset? It's its people, right?
Right.
And it's the tradition, the longevity, the excellence that we have in our community, and there's no place to celebrate that.
No.
There's pockets,
Yep,
you can go
that's right,
different
right.
places, but there's no place to really honor that. And so that's what we're looking to do with the property.
Yeah.
We're not looking to Greenville anything or
Right. No,
Columbia
absolutely.
anything or
Absolutely.
it'll still be that small town feel, but we're gonna be really excited to unveil this. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of effort,
Mhm.
and it's gonna come with a rebranding for Chapin, and we're just excited. It's just an
Yeah.
exciting time.
Some big things ahead.
Absolutely.
Big
So what's
things.
the time frame look like for something like that?
So we should be done with that in the next 6 months. We're super grateful to the school district for allowing us to work through it, for being champions of our efforts. Again, they're taking a very supportive role, but they're really not engaging a whole lot in the process because it's really independent of them. But they have been true champions of honoring our requests and allowing us the time and space. And honestly, that's the perfect example of strategic partnerships that we look for. Really
Absolutely.
doing something that benefits the community, not for selfish gain, not for selfish interest, but really to benefit the community and provide quality of life opportunities. Like our library needs to be expanded.
Yeah.
And it's too small.
Right.
And the amount of services they could provide to our public if we gave them a greater area, a greater footprint, how great would that be to capitalize that with a performing arts center that our students deserve,
Yeah.
that our community deserves?
Absolutely.
And then coupling that with an overall plan and really thinking through it is a huge benefit. And obviously, I'm so grateful to be part of it. I'm grateful
Mhm.
to the committee. It's been an amazing
And
experience.
what I appreciate about our town leadership is the word plan. We're thinking ahead. We're just not allowing things to happen to the town. Everything from what type of trees it's going to be to, what is it going to look like 5, 10, 15 years from now for the community to have resources and entertainment and value to bring folks in. Now, looking short term, I know we have some events coming up. Now, we're recording this in May.
Yeah.
We have some events coming up on the calendar with the town of Chapin.
We do. We have Off the Dock. So that was a new event last year. So this will be its second year in creation. And that's going to be June 21st. It'll be from 5 to 8 p.m. It'll be on Clark Street. So if anyone had ever gone to our farmers markets or any of the events that we have that lead sort of into that Buford Street area, it's a really great area to come and gather. There's plenty of parking or surrounding the area, and we'll have vendors and of course, some entertainment options. Baked by Alexandria is on board as a sponsor, and they're going to be there with homemade cookies. And you know how I feel about homemade cookies.
Okay.
I think I'll be there.
Yes, and we were there last year, and it
Mhm.
really was a fantastic community event to see so
Yeah.
many folks just kind of come out. And it was nice to do something in the evening. It wasn't too hot. It was a great day with, there was live music and food trucks and vendors. So that's something. It's the Off the Dock block party, something like
Yes,
that.
that's
Okay.
what we refer to as that old style of, I don't know, I have this image in my head of, the 60s, 70s when neighborhoods were
Mm.
first becoming a thing and it was
Yeah.
like a neighborhood block
Yeah.
party. It's that,
Yeah.
right? It's just in a
Fun.
community.
Just a
yeah.
fun time
Good.
to get together. Well,
Mhm.
that sounds like fun. There's also something coming up in like September. There's a holiday,
There's
the
something.
beginning
There's
of
something.
of
Yes.
that, and I think Chapin does something during that first Monday of
If you
September.
are new to Chapin, let me tell you, Chapin Labor Day is phenomenal, and that's something that you want to make plans to be in town. We have a
Oh, for
restaurant
sure.
week that leads up to it, so that's the opportunity to bring family and friends inside. We have new restaurants that have opened and
Mhm.
new deals to be had, new experiences to try, and so we encourage you to do that. And then there's all kinds of events. The Fidelis Family Retreat is going to be doing a 5K, just like we've traditionally done. We've got the Boots on Beaufort. There'll be Latin night. And then, of course, we'll have the traditional Labor Day festivities, including the parade and vendors.
It's like
and
a new
art.
frontier for this.
It
It
is.
is a new frontier.
So New Frontier is the theme.
Like Western. Is that what that means? Like Western?
Last year was more pirate.
Pirate.
Yes, it was very pirate. Here's the thing. It goes back to what we were saying before about the planning and the new horizon that Chapin is on and where we're looking to go. But it takes on this
Okay.
new frontiers of pioneering and
I'm
of
going for Star
course-
Trek.
I was kidding.
I'm
That
going
was
Star Trek.
just what was in my head.
I could see you with some Spock ears.
Let's
We could do
do
some
it.
Spock
Now-
ears,
Let's do it.
If I had to guess, it will be heavy in the chaps and the horses and the cowboys, and I'm fine with that too. That's great, but
Well, alrighty then. Okay. So
Daniel, I hope you're gonna wear chaps.
I'll have to get mine out of the closet. So that will be interesting. So
Sure,
there's
it'll be
a Latin night, and then there's a Boots on Beaufort, which is a concert that's the Sunday night before Labor Day. Huge event.
That's
now.
fun.
Oh yeah,
That's fun.
it's a great opportunity. What always amazes me about Latin Night and about Boots on Beaufort is just the opportunity to see so many faces that you used to go when I first moved here. You used to go in a grocery store and you kind of knew everybody, and now we're pulling from such a wide area. You don't necessarily get to know everyone, but when you
Mhm.
go to those events, it's like family.
Yeah.
It's like
Mhm.
everybody knows everybody, and if you're new to the community or you go, "Oh, I've never heard of this before," encourage you to come check it out.
Sure.
I think it's such a
Absolutely.
fun way to get to know your neighbors. I think it's such a fun way to get to
Mhm.
see what the community is all about. And, I think I've told you this, Daniel, but, my favorite thing about doing farmers markets or vendor events or like off the dock is you're walking down the street and all of a sudden you see groups of people and they're just hugging in the street.
Yeah.
And that happens throughout the event the entire time. The sheer excitement and just how people love each other here is really unique and really special.
And that's what I think sets Chapin apart
Oh,
from other
absolutely.
communities is the people, the community, the culture that the town is trying to implement. And what we're doing here with our business community as well with the chamber. It's all about community and culture and people and being relational.
Well, compare that to cutting on the news and seeing these towns or these campuses or all the things that are going on that can be so stressful. And then we have these events, we have these gatherings, we have these chamber events, we have these town things, and we could see our leadership here that truly cares about what's happening.
Mhm.
And I think it should create in us a sense of gratitude.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. I think you're absolutely right. Come down to Boots on Beaufort and see the kind of things that happen. And like Nicole was saying, like the hugs and the families getting together because it's a family event.
It
My
is.
family was there. My kids were there. It's a great time.
Yeah.
And
And
so
then Labor Day. So anything else on the horizon or anything to finish up?
I don't think that there's anything particular, but I would encourage people to follow along our Facebook page. They can go on our website. We just had a website redesign, and you can find all the information about events. We do all kinds of them throughout the year. So some are like Paul was saying, some are definitely more family friendly events. Some are more directed, maybe specifically to a date night or to like a shopping event for girlfriends or something. But really, anything that we do, we are always trying to keep in mind the Chapin community as a whole, which really has those center values we were talking about that culture and
Right.
family and faith and love for thy neighbor, and that's what we try and encourage, and that's the positive things that we like to see. So if you're looking for more on our events or anything we have going on, I encourage you to check out our website chapinsc.com or follow us on Facebook.
Awesome.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Nicholle, for joining us again
Mm-hmm.
and giving us some updates on the town and what's happening there.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening.
This has been the Chapin Neighbors Podcast, where we highlight all that makes our community special. We hope you enjoyed our time together. Please like, subscribe, and share the Chapin Chamber Neighbors Podcast.